Hey guys, welcome back to Follow Me 11B. Discussions on current events, macroeconomics, and freedom and liberty from a veteran's perspective. Today I wanted to give you an update on gas prices and nationwide and also in my area. So let's start things off by going to a CBS News article entitled "Gas Prices Are Providing Some Relief After Hitting Their March Peak" by Kate Gibson, April 8th, 2022. Motorists are feeling less pain at the pump amid a slide in gas prices from their record highs in March. Gas prices could be heading to below $4 a gallon nationally, possibly in the next week or two, tweeted Patrick DeHaan, oil and gas analyst at Gas Buddy. Listen, Gas Buddy, today is April 16th, and according to AAA, national average is currently $4.07 a gallon. So, not quite there yet, but hey, I'm pulling for you, Gas Buddy. Prices at the gas pump swiftly rose after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, pushing the average cost for a gallon of regular gasoline above $4 a gallon for the first time since 2008. That jump came at the same time that consumers are grappling with the highest inflation in 4 decades, impacting everything from groceries to housing costs and gas prices, which, by the way, were at $2.39, national average on Inauguration Day 2021. The recent decline in gas costs is likely to continue if oil prices remain below $100 a barrel, according to AAA. Crude prices fell this week after the International Energy Agency's 31 member countries, including Canada, Germany, and Japan, announced plans to release 120 million barrels of stockpiled crude. That includes a previously announced 60 million barrels from the U.S. So let's stop and talk about that for a second. In addition to these 60 million barrels, there have also, I think it was March 31st, there was a Biden administration announcement by the president himself that he was releasing 1 million barrels of crude a day from the Strategic Oil Reserve for the next 6 months. Now, we got 60 million barrels here. I don't think that this is part of that announcement. But if it is, we're still talking 6 months. If it's not, we're talking 8 months. So 6 to 8 months. So, not a conspiracy theorist maybe, but let's just examine this for a second. March 31st announcement and another 60 million barrels besides that. 6 months plus another 60 days. Well, we've got April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. That's weird. What happens in November? Midterm elections? Just saying. Also, the Strategic Oil Reserve is not exactly meant to be tapped so we can drive down the cost of a standard United States motorist's fuel costs by 10 or 15 or 20 cents a gallon. It's kind of meant for times of national emergency, like if there's a natural disaster or if there is a nuclear detonation that's preventing imports into this country, to kind of keep our economy somewhat moving and definitely keep our military operational. But I digress. Might not be the best time to do that when we're teetering on the brink of a world war. Just food for thought. Fuel for thought, shall we say. When lawmakers grilled energy executives about higher gas costs this week, the executives deflected criticisms that the industry was looking to boost profits by refusing to produce more oil and gas. Because oil, there's a quote, because oil is a global commodity, Shell does not set or control the price of crude oil, Gretchen Watkins, president of Shell, told a House committee Wednesday in prepared remarks. Now, there's been a big to-do about thousands of leases available for these greedy, evil oil companies, and they can just dive right in there and do it, and get some oil out of the ground and just, reduce the price, but they're too greedy and evil. So, that just, first of all, that discounts the long, drawn-out, likely on purpose, permitting process to actually work on these leased lands. Now, secondly, I just wanted to point out that these greedy, evil oil companies, They don't want to drill for more oil so that they can make more profits. Just does not pass the smell test. Does not see. If they're so greedy, why would they not want to make more money? But I digress. Moving on to another article, this one from CNBC. Soaring gas prices are forcing some Uber Lyft drivers off the road, from Wednesday, April 13th, by Jessica Dickler. Gas prices rose sharply in March, accounting for more than half the monthly increase in inflation. Nearly half of rideshare workers, including Uber and Lyft drivers, as well as food deliveries for companies like Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats, quit or drive less because of the recent spike in gas prices, according to Rideshare Guy's own poll. And if Rideshare Guy says it, you know it's solid. The Consumer Price Index, which measures the prices Americans must pay for goods and services, is up 8.5% from a year ago, notching a fresh high in March. Prediction, another fresh high in April. However, gas prices jumped 18.3% for the month, boosted by the war in Ukraine and the pressure that it is putting on supply. Although the national average for a gallon of regular gasoline fell slightly to $4.10 after the White House announced several stopgap measures, it is still significantly higher than the $2.86 seen 1 year ago, according to data from AAA. And again, $2.39 on Inauguration Day, 2021. In California, a gallon of, well, let's see here. Actually, let's jump over to here. To compensate drivers for rising gas prices, Uber introduced a temporary fuel surcharge last month. Consumers must now pay an additional 45 cents or 55 cents on each ride, and either 35 cents or 45 cents on each Uber Eats order, depending on the location. Lyft also added a 55-cent surcharge on each ride to help offset drivers' fuel costs, while DoorDash now has a 10% cashback program on all gas purchases. So here's a couple other numbers that you may find of interest. Highest national average per state, by state, is California with a national gas average, drum roll please, of $5.71 a gallon average. And lowest in the 50 states is, drum roll, $3.64 a gallon in Missouri, which makes me feel pretty lucky because here in my area, call it the Wausau, Wisconsin area, $3.74 a gallon. So we're only 10 cents higher than the cheapest gas in the entire United States. So thank you. That's the best news I've heard all day, and with anything to do with since the gas prices have gone up. So great news, at least if you live in Wisconsin for the most part. Now, I just wanted to touch on a couple other things. There's been some movements in Washington, D.C. to kind of tinker at gas prices. They're not doing the one thing that would certainly reduce gas prices, and that's kind of lay off the oil and gas industry, cut some red tape for them, let them get pulling crude out of the ground as soon as possible, and give them a friendly environment, give them some guarantees for the next couple of years so that they feel comfortable investing in these new projects. But I don't see that happening. All they're doing right now is they're tinkering around the edges. For example, Joe Biden, about 4 days ago, he announced that he was, from June 1st to September 15th, he's going to allow 15% ethanol blend to be sold at gas stations nationwide. Now, normally you are only allowed to sell 10% in the summertime because it increases smog, etc. It actually is a violation of the Clean Air Act, so I'm not exactly sure how they're going to get around that. But this is what I'm talking about why I'm bringing that up. There's some states that are removing their state their state fuel tax or their state tax on gasoline. There's also talk in Washington about even suspending the federal gas tax. Now, these taxes are used for more than just fixing roads. They're also supposed to be used for green initiatives to get people off of fossil fuels, because it's very important, according to these proponents of fossil fuels, to get us off there. Otherwise, you've heard the rhetoric. We've only got X amount of years, and then for the planet's done. Now, I don't know if I subscribe to that. Actually, I know I don't subscribe to that. However, I'll let you be the judge. But think about this: if this is going to destroy the planet, and they are 100% on board and in favor of green initiatives, why is it that when there's a midterm election coming up in a few months, they're totally willing to, shall we say, risk the planet by suspending these gas taxes that are so important to get these green initiatives up and running, or continue to keep running? Why is it so important enough for example, Joe Biden to violate the Clean Air Act to introduce a different blend of ethanol? Why? I mean, it's just another example of these politicians in Washington and on the state level just being like duplicitous gas bags. They stand for nothing except for their own reelection. But that's all I've got for today. I just wanted to give you a quick update. Again, $3.74 here in Wausau, Wisconsin. And we have tapped the Strategic Oil Reserve, so we can drop, gas prices by like a dime. Don't think that's a great idea, especially when we're teetering on the brink of a potential world war. But I would love to hear what you think, and more specifically on this video, I would love to hear what your gas prices in your area are. So please put it in the comments. Subscribe to this channel. Visit us on Twitter and Facebook at followme11b. And don't forget to visit us on Instagram at TheRealFollowMe11b. And we will see you all on the next video.